All right. So, you know how sometimes you hear about something like in the financial world and you're not really sure what it is.
Yeah.
Like you hear people throwing around this phrase, but you don't actually know what it means.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like I've been hearing a lot about these Magnificent Seven stocks,
Uh-huh.
and I don't really get it.
Uh,
So we are diving deep into that today.
that's right. We're going to make it really simple for you.
In the next few minutes, we're going to break it down. Who are these Magnificent Seven companies?
Right.
And why are they called that?
Why have they been given this designation?
Exactly.
And what does it even mean for the rest of us?
Yeah.
Who maybe aren't, billionaires or whatever,
Right.
big-time investors.
Right.
It actually is really important for everybody because these 7 companies, they really do drive a lot of the trends in the market.
Absolutely. And, this term Magnificent Seven, it was coined by Bank of America analysts.
That's right.
Michael Hartnett.
Back in 2023.
Back in 2023. And it's obviously kind of a fun, nod
Right.
to the classic Western film.
Absolutely.
And it does signify like a powerful group.
Yeah, force to be reckoned with.
So, okay, let's get into who these companies actually are.
Yeah.
The Magnificent Seven.
Let's name names.
Yeah.
Give us the rundown.
Okay, so first up we have Alphabet.
Okay.
You probably know them better as Google.
Right.
The ticker symbols are GOGL and GOOG.
That's right.
Just as a little side note, the different ticker symbols are different classes of shares that have varying voting rights.
Oh, interesting.
So that's a whole other thing.
Into rabbit hole.
But anyway, Alphabet, it's not just about search anymore.
No, right.
They own Fitbit,
Uh-huh.
Waze,
Right.
and of course YouTube.
I mean, the reach is huge, right?
It's huge.
You think about how many people use Google every day?
Every day.
Or YouTube.
Or YouTube.
Oh, Waze.
Waze is how I get everywhere.
Yeah, right.
I'm directionally challenged.
Yeah.
Okay, next on the list, Amazon.
Okay.
Ticker symbol AMZN.
You know them.
They started as just an online bookseller back in the day,
Right.
but now they're everywhere.
I mean, I was just looking at my Amazon app. I
Right.
was buying some dish soap, and I was also thinking about buying a TV.
Yeah.
So,
Amazon Prime, AWS,
AWS.
Whole Foods.
I mean, it's crazy.
They're everywhere.
Right.
Okay.
If you think about Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
How has that changed your life
Yeah.
in the last 5 years? 10 years, even?
It really has.
Free 2-day shipping,
Yeah, I can't even remember
next day shipping sometime.
what it was like before Amazon Prime.
I know, I don't even want to.
Yeah, it's true.
I block it out.
Okay, next up, Apple.
Apple,
Ticker symbol AAPL.
the OG.
Yeah, they were actually the first of this group to go public
Right.
way back in 1980.
1980s.
So they've been around for a while.
And still going strong.
Still going strong.
Constantly innovating.
Computers, iPhones, smartwatches,
Yeah.
tablets,
Right.
music,
Right.
Apple Music,
Right.
Shazam they own,
Beats headphones.
Beats headphones.
They're huge, huge. You probably interacted with some kind of Apple product today,
Yeah, you probably did.
whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
Even if it was just seeing an ad on
True.
your phone for something,
Yeah, that's true.
like an Apple product.
Okay, moving right along.
Okay.
Meta platforms.
Okay.
Ticker symbol Meta.
You know them.
You probably still think of them as Facebook,
Right.
which is understandable.
Yeah.
But they changed their name in 2021 to kind of reflect their broader ambitions.
To sort of encompass all of the different things that they
Yeah,
do
yeah.
and want to do.
It's beyond just social media now, right?
Well, we don't really know.
Right.
We'll see what the metaverse holds.
Right.
But it's definitely ambitious
Yeah.
to change your name from something as well known as Facebook to Meta.
Right.
It's a big move.
It's a big,
It shows you they're serious. Yeah.
about their vision.
And of course, they still own Instagram
Right.
and WhatsApp.
So you can't really escape
It's hard to escape Meta
Meta
in your daily life.
unless you've gone completely off the grid,
Yeah.
which I kind of admire.
All right, next up, Microsoft.
Okay.
Ticker symbol MSFT.
Microsoft,
You know them.
the big one.
Yeah, they're behind so much of the computer software that we use both at home and at work.
I mean, think about it.
Windows,
Windows,
Microsoft Office Suite,
Microsoft Office,
all the stuff.
everything.
They also own a LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn.
So think about how much Microsoft is really
Yeah.
woven into the fabric of our lives.
Totally.
All right, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Nvidia.
Nvidia.
Ticker symbol NVDA. They are a chip maker.
Chip maker.
And they have seen huge growth recently.
I mean, huge.
They briefly surpassed Apple in market value in 2024.
Wow.
Which is insane to think about. That's pretty crazy.
And their returns have been amazing.
Especially in recent years. So they're definitely a company to watch.
For sure.
You know what's really interesting about them is their technology is kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But it's really powering a lot of these advances that we're seeing in AI.
Absolutely.
So they're sort of like the unsung heroes in a way.
Yeah. I mean, you think about, like, AI is everywhere right now.
Yeah, it's all the buzz.
It's all the buzz.
And they're sort of like the backbone of a lot of it.
Exactly. And then last but not least, we have Tesla.
Tesla?
Ticker symbol TSLA.
The electric car.
This one's kind of a unique one because even though they're primarily known as an electric car company,
Right.
they're also considered a tech stock.
Definitely.
They also make those solar roofs
Right.
and the home energy generator things.
That's right.
So they're kind of all over the place, but definitely tech.
And they're also kind of interesting because they have had some ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they shed some value in early 2025, even after having long-term growth.
Right.
So it just goes to show you that even these high-growth companies can be volatile.
Yeah. Nothing's a sure thing
Right.
in the stock market.
Not even the Magnificent Seven.
Okay, so there you have it. Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Meta Platforms, Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful, but, you know.
But it's important to know who they are.
Yeah.
Because, like we said, they're shaping the market.
Absolutely. And just to kind of give you a sense of the sectors that these companies operate in.
Okay.
It's technology services, electronic technology, retail trade, consumer durables.
So you've got
A lot.
everything from internet software and services to
Right.
semiconductors
Right.
to motor vehicles.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty wide range.
It really is.
And it shows you that they're not just sort of like a one-trick pony.
Right.
They're doing all sorts of different things.
So why are they so magnificent?
Right. What makes them stand out?
Why this group?
I think it's a combination of factors.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, they're all leaders in technological innovation.
Yeah.
They're constantly developing new products and services that
Uh-huh.
people want.
Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of clamoring for the next iPhone.
Right.
And they're also financially very healthy.
Yeah.
You know, robust earnings revenue growth,
Healthy balance sheets.
healthy balance sheets.
So that's always good.
Yeah, that's attractive to investors.
And their global reach is huge too, right?
Right.
They're not just operating in the U.S., they're all over the world.
Yeah.
So that gives them a lot of potential for growth.
And they've carved out really strong market positions.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are the dominant players in their respective industries,
Right.
which gives them a huge advantage.
Yeah.
It's hard to compete with them.
And they've all got really strong brand recognition
Oh, yeah.
worldwide.
I mean, everybody knows these companies.
Yeah.
And they have really loyal customer bases, too. I mean, think about Apple.
Yeah.
People love Apple.
Yeah, they really do.
And I think that's a big part of why they're so successful.
Yeah, the brand loyalty is huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at how they've actually performed
Okay.
in terms of, you know, like their stock returns and all that.
Let's get into the numbers.
Yeah. So if we look back at some data from June 2024,
Mm-hmm.
Nvidia really stands out.
Yeah.
They had incredible returns over 6 months, 1 year, and especially over 5 years.
5 years.
Tesla also had a really phenomenal 5-year run.
Right.
But it's interesting to note that, like, more recently in March 2025,
Yeah.
the data shows some shifts.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft actually had a negative return
Mhm.
over the year
Right.
leading up to March 2025.
Right. So it just goes to show you that even the best companies can have down years.
Yeah, I mean, past performance isn't a guarantee of future results.
Absolutely.
But it is interesting to look back at what people were saying.
Yeah.
So back in 2023, King Lip from Baker Avenue Wealth Management,
Right.
he thought that the Magnificent Seven would actually hold up better than other stocks
Uh-huh.
if we went into a recession.
So they're sort of seen as like a safe haven in a way?
Yeah, because they are just so big
Right.
and so influential.
And I mean, think about their combined market capitalization.
Yeah, it's great.
It was around $16 trillion as of June 2024.
16 trillion.
16 trillion.
That's insane.
And several of them have individual market caps that are well over $1 trillion.
Right,
Some of them are even approaching $3 trillion
right.
as of March 2025.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are huge, huge companies
Yeah.
that have a lot of power and influence in the market.
Okay, so why are they called the Magnificent Seven?
Yeah,
What's the deal with that name?
that's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really cool and powerful,
Right.
but why that name?
Well, it really is just kind of a nod to the movie. I mean, they're seen as the top performing growth stocks in the tech world.
Yeah,
And I guess Magnificent Seven just has a nice ring to it.
it does.
Right.
It's catchy.
It's catchy.
Now, some of you listening might be familiar with the term FAA.
Right.
How do those two groups compare?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because they seem kind of similar.
They are similar.
They're both like these groups of really powerful tech companies.
Right.
So what's the difference?
Well, FAANG was coined earlier,
Okay.
right? That
Okay.
stands for Meta, which was originally Facebook,
Right.
Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Alphabet,
Right.
which was originally Google.
Got it.
So the Magnificent Seven is a little bit broader.
Okay.
Right. It includes Microsoft and Tesla,
Right.
which weren't in the original FAANG group.
Got it.
And that means that the Magnificent Seven really covers a wider range of the tech industry.
Okay.
It goes beyond just those sort of like core internet companies like
Oh.
e-commerce and digital media.
It also includes things like software development,
Right.
electric vehicles,
Yeah.
and AI.
AI.
So it's a little bit more representative of the whole tech landscape.
Got it.
And, if you're thinking about investing
Yeah.
and you want exposure to both of these groups of companies,
Right.
you could invest in a broad market fund,
Okay.
like an S&P 500 ETF.
Right.
Because those funds hold significant positions in both the
Yeah.
FA stocks
Right.
and the Magnificent Seven.
So you get kind of like the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
Okay, so now we've talked about all the good stuff.
Right. All the reasons why they're so magnificent.
Yeah, but of course there are always risks
Absolutely.
with any investment.
I mean, nothing is guaranteed.
Right.
Right.
So what are some of the things that people should keep in mind?
Like any investment, they are subject to market volatility.
Right.
I mean, the market goes up and down.
Yeah.
And these companies are no different. Yeah. And then there's also, the possibility of regulatory changes,
Right.
especially around things like antitrust data privacy,
Yeah.
even international trade.
Right. All of that stuff can have a huge impact on these companies.
Yeah. And then there's also just the ever-present risk of technological disruption.
Right.
They have to constantly innovate
Yeah.
to stay ahead.
It's irrelevant.
And that can be a challenge.
It's a lot of pressure
Absolutely.
to constantly be on the cutting edge.
And then, of course, we have to think about things like the overall economy.
Yeah. The macroeconomic factors.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what if we have a recession,
Uh-huh.
that could affect consumer spending?
Right. It could affect business spending.
Yeah. Business spending, all of that.
Absolutely.
And then global factors, too, like currency fluctuations, geopolitical tensions.
Oh, yeah. All those things can play a role.
Yeah. All these things can kind of throw a wrench
Yeah.
into the works.
So it's important to keep those things in mind.
Yeah, it's not just about the company itself. It's also about the bigger picture.
Totally.
You
Yeah.
got to think about everything.
Okay, so what are some other risks?
Well, cybersecurity threats are always a concern.
Yeah, especially with tech companies.
Yeah, I mean, they hold so much of our data.
Right.
And if that data gets breached,
Right.
it could be a big problem.
Yeah. And then there's also, the reliance on key personnel.
Right.
Like, what if something happens to the founder of the company or the CEO?
Yeah, it can definitely have an impact on the company's performance.
Yeah.
And then there's also the challenges of market saturation and increased competition.
Right.
I mean, these companies are so big.
Yeah.
And they're in so many different markets.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep growing at the same rate.
Yeah. And, we were talking about how attractive their strong financial health is. But there's also this concept of premium prices,
Right.
where basically the stock price already reflects
Yeah.
really high growth expectations. So if the company doesn't meet those expectations,
Yeah.
the stock price could take a hit.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some risk there.
Yeah.
And then another thing to keep in mind is diversification.
Right.
If you're already heavily invested in large cap growth funds,
Yeah.
you might not want to put too much more money into these individual stocks
Right.
because you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Right.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah,
Spread it around.
that's the key.
Okay, so say you are interested in investing in the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
How would you actually do that?
Well, There's a few different ways.
Yeah.
The most straightforward way is to just buy shares in each of the individual stocks.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Through a brokerage account.
Right.
You can also invest in index funds that track broad market indexes.
Right.
Like the S&P 500.
Right.
And those funds will hold significant positions in these companies.
Yeah.
So that's a way to get exposure to all of them without having to buy them individually.
Yeah. And then there are also ETFs.
Yeah.
Like the Mangias ETF.
Right.
Which is specifically designed to track the Magnificent Seven.
Exactly.
So if you want to just focus on those companies,
Yeah.
that's a way to do
So
it.
there's a lot of different options. It
Yeah.
just depends on your investment goals.
Right. And your risk tolerance.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. So I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, I think we've given people a pretty good overview of
Yeah.
the Magnificent Seven.
The Magnificent Seven, they are a really powerful group of companies.
They are.
They're driving major technological trends, influencing the market
Yeah.
in really big ways.
And they're not going anywhere.
Yeah. They're probably going to be around for a while.
So it's good to be aware of them
Yeah.
and understand how they work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as with any investment, it's important to weigh the potential rewards against the risks.
Always.
Yeah, so do your research. Think about your investment goals, your risk tolerance,
Yeah.
and make informed decisions.
And keep in mind that the future is always uncertain.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the fun of it.
Right. Exactly.
All right, so as we wrap up here,
Okay.
I want to leave you with a thought.
A little something to ponder
Yeah.
as you go about your day.
So we've talked about how powerful these companies are,
Right.
how influential they are. What do you think could happen in the future that might actually disrupt
Yeah.
one or more of these companies?
That's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, is there some new technology on the horizon
Right.
that we don't even know about yet?
Or some big shift
Yeah,
in consumer behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely possible.
yeah,
That's what makes the market so exciting.
absolutely.
Right, you never know what's going to happen.
Okay, so if you enjoyed this deep dive
Yeah.
and want to stay informed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to tap that bell icon so you never miss a new video.
And leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Let us know what you think.
Let us know what you want to hear about.
Yeah, we love hearing from you guys.
Yeah, we do.
All right, we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.